Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping safe and well. If you're watching this video, it is because you are unable to do the practical, or maybe you're in a key worker hub. So we are still focusing on the same theme this week, which is dance, okay? But we're going to take a slightly different approach to it. So similar to the video that you'll have watched that Miss Jari did last week or the week before half term, I'm going to ask you about 10 questions, okay? 10 quick fire questions that contain some of the key words, some of the key terms, techniques that are used in dance, okay? So, if you want to, make sure you've opened up the Word document that's in class materials, okay? That's got the 10 questions on there for you. You can either write it down on there if you're on a computer, or if you want to use pen and paper, that's fine, okay? But make sure you've got 10 answers. What you'll need to do in between, unless you think that you know the answers and you are dead confident in that, okay, is you'll need to pause the video. So after I've asked the question, you want to pause the video and then you can go on Google. You're allowed to use the internet for this, okay? Find out what you think the answer is and then add it in, okay? And we're going to come on to a challenge task later that will be to do with these key terms, okay? So pause the video after each question. I'll go through the answers with you after that and then we'll go on to a challenge task. So, question 1, okay? How many dancers perform in a duo? You might be able to answer this one without Googling it. You might be able to have a little bit of a guess. So, how many dancers perform in a duo? Question 2, what is a choreographer's job? Okay, remember all these relate to dance. So, what is a choreographer's job? Question 3, what are formations in dance? Okay, if you've not danced before, but you might have done some gymnastics or some cheer in school, something like that, okay, same kind of thing. We always look at formations. So what are formations in dance? That was question 3. Question 4, canon is a key word and technique in dance. What does it mean? Okay, make sure when you're searching this one that you put in some kind of keyword to do with dance, okay? So you might type into Google, what is canon in dance? Because if you just put canon in, you're going to get a photo of an actual cannon like they used to use in the wars, okay? So what is canon in dance? Question 5, what does musicality mean in dance? Bit more of a difficult one there, okay? So you might need a little bit more time to research that. What does musicality mean in dance? Question 6, what does performing in unison mean? Again, you might be able to have a little bit of a guess on this one, okay, but you might just need to back it up. So what does performing in unison mean? Question 7, what does dynamics mean in dance? What are dynamics in dance? Could you give any examples of what dynamics might mean? Similar to music as well. Question 8, what are transitions in dance? Okay, so how do dancers transition? What does that mean? Question 9, what does levels mean in dance? Okay, how might you show levels? Again, you might be able to have a bit of a guess at that, but what are levels in dance? And lastly, question 10, what does rhythm mean? What does rhythm mean in dance? Right guys, I'm hoping that you've had a go at answering those 10 questions. We're now going to go through the answers, okay? So purple pen your work to improve it. Question 1, how many dancers perform in a duo? The answer is 2, okay? Also might be called a duet. If you think about singers, when they sing together, it's a duet, isn't it? So 2 dancers in a duo. Question 2, what is a choreographer's job? Okay, a choreographer's job is basically to create and plan routines for performance, okay? So it's the person who comes up with the dance and creates it. Question 3, what are formations in dance? So this is when dancers form certain arrangements on the floor. So you might have 2 lines of dancers facing inwards, or you might have a circle, okay? So it's almost like the pattern that the dancers create on the floor. Question 4, canon is a keyword and technique in dance. What does it mean? Okay, so canon is when dancers basically take it in turns to perform a movement, okay, but it's identical, it's copied and then performed by others. So one person might clap and then the next person, then the next person, then the next person, okay? So it's an identical movement that's just copied by other people slightly after, okay? So it almost like creates a ripple effect. Question 5, what does musicality mean in dance? Okay, so dance musicality is how dancers hear and interpret and then dance to the music. So it's a way that dancers can demonstrate how they choose to respond to the sounds, okay, how they highlight different sounds and how they put different movements to match those sounds, okay. It's very personal, so it's how dancers interpret the music and produce movements around the music. Number 6, what does performing in unison mean? Okay, so this basically means where all the dancers perform at the same time as each other, okay, so it should be done totally at the same time. You shouldn't see anyone doing something different to anybody else. Number 7, what does dynamics mean in dance? Okay, so dynamics in dance are how you accentuate the music and match the changes and the flow of the song to your movements. So if you think about different materials, so you have like smooth materials, silky, spiky, rough materials, okay, it's the same thing, okay, as texture in dance and dynamics in dance. So you might have quick movements, you might have slow movements, flowing movements, okay, so it's how your movements change to match the flow of a song. Number 8, what are the transitions in dance? Okay, or what are transitions in dance? This one's quite simple. It's basically how you change from one position to another. Okay, so if you've got, I don't know, a jump, okay, and then you've got to move across the stage to get to your next part of your dance, how do you move across the stage? How do you connect the jump to the next part? Okay, so it's how you move or change from one position or one part of the dance to another. Number 9 was, what do levels mean in dance? Now, level is quite simply the vertical distance from the floor, okay? So 3 levels generally in dance, cheer, gymnastics. High, middle and low, quite that simple. So low might be floor work, so anything that's low to the floor. Medium height is generally kind of stood up, and high is anything kind of above head height. It also might include jumps as well, or lifts, okay? But 3 different levels that are generally used to add a little bit of texture to a dance. And lastly, number 10, what does rhythm mean for dance? So rhythm is the timing of events, okay? But we put that to a human scale in dance. So if you think about in rhythm and music, it's the timing of the beats and the musical sounds. It's the same for dance, but it's just the steps, okay? So the steps move along, or the steps are interpreted to the timing of the beats in the song. Right guys, so now we've done the 10 quickfire questions, okay, and we've got the answers, we understand a little bit about the key terms in dance, okay? You've now got a choice, okay, so there are 3 links to different videos, okay? Different dances, different styles of dance, okay, included in those 3 videos, okay? So video 1 is a snippet from Swan Lake, video 2 is a snippet of diversity, and video 3 is a modern tap routine, okay? I'd like you to watch all 3, okay? They're very short, all right? And then you're going to pick one that you found the most interesting or the most fun to watch, okay? The one that you liked the best. Once you've done that, okay, I would like you to comment, almost analyse it a little bit, okay? So we're going to put our analytical heads on. What style of dance is it, and where does it originate from? You might need to Google that, okay? Do a little bit of research. How have they used dynamics? What transitions are there? Have the dancers used different levels in their performance? Can you recognise any techniques like canon? Do they change formations? And can you comment on the dancers' musicality? Now this is a bit more of a difficult task, okay, so this is why it was crucial that you purple penned your answers, so you had the right answers to those key terms, okay? So, watch the 3 videos, pick the one that you think you'd like to work on or one that you'd like to analyse the most, okay? And then can you produce just a small paragraph, okay, talking through those different terms in the bullet points, okay? Once you've done that, you can upload your work into either files section or onto the assignment section, I don't mind, okay? But by the end of the lesson, hopefully, you'll have become more confident in using those keywords for dance and applying them to a watched performance. All right, guys, best of luck.